We got a email from some fellows from Australia, a little YouTube channel. You may have heard of these guys. The name is How Ridiculous. They were looking for kind of a wild project. They've got a couple cannons, and what they were asking is, could we acquire them a Humvee? Could we up armor that Humvee and then survive everything they throw at it?
We want to get something that's known for being tough and see if our cannons what it can do.
Let me show you around. This thing needs a lot of work.
You can see the condition. This isn't a prime Humvee. Just gives you an idea what we're dealing with. We've got 2x2 square tubing, 1/4-inch wall, and we're going to skeet it with 3/8 plates. It's thick, it's heavy, but it's not crazy, especially for armament. That's coming from my many years of experience knowing nothing about this. So a Humvee looks to be the toughest vehicle, right? And in some ways they are. I mean, they're very capable off-road. They've got great ground clearance, but they are not strong when it comes to the body. They were built to save weight. And so people think these are so heavy. They're not. They're like 5,800 pounds. So they're no more than like a half-ton truck. But they did that by making the hood out of fiberglass, and the rest of the body is aluminum. Very thin aluminum. It would take nothing to go through this. I mean, this is thin stuff. This is a competition which we want to win. So how do we win? We win through survival. If we can make this thing survive numerous shots from a Jeep cannon, I consider that a win. Doesn't matter how ugly and destroyed it is if it drives. Now it's assuming I've been able to get this to move under its own power to begin with. Currently it doesn't do that. Steering shaft goes through here. This is what we need to protect. This is what we want to protect. So we need to get a thermostat up, a radiator hose. It doesn't have a generator on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to worry about that given our time, but I do need at least a belt to turn the water pump. But these can actually run a long time without an alternator generator because they only use power to keep the solenoid open to keep it running, but it takes almost nothing ever. It's a lot up here, not a lot of words, sorry. We're going to use this to make a crossbar here that we'll weld into.
Cutting useless mumbo jumbo, I see.
Yeah, all this unnecessary stuff they put on these Humvees, like floors. Let's go over a little bit of the design, which we are making up as we go along. I mean, I've got some stuff up here going on, but you kind of see how it works out. I want this to look like a Humvee, but I didn't want to do some crazy plating on the sides. I mean, yes, we could put just insane amounts of material on the sides of this and maybe make it survive. I wanted something that was really effective, and I didn't just use mass and weight and volume to solve the problem. I also, along with that, I want the How Ridiculous guys, when they first see this, to not know what we did, because for the most part, I'm trying to keep it inside the body. So we're cutting out the floor and all, and obviously the interior is getting completely ruined. And what we're doing is this piece on the side, we have one of these on either side, we're going to have an angle down. We're going to have the entire side at roughly a 45-degree angle. I mean, whatever it works out to. It might be more like 60. When that bowling ball comes in, it's going to hit, and we'll have like that 3/8 plate supported with additional rectangular tube, and it'll try and direct it downward. Oh my God, it's been a long day already. Our wheel covers, which are ridiculous, they're heavy. Once you put all the steel in them, they're heavy. But we're making these pyramids that come off so that if it hits, hopefully, it hits off center, but even if it hits center, it should split that ball and distribute that force away from the suspension, wheel, and tire. This will be mounted to the wheel. It's actually going to mount to the studs of the dual bead lock there. Rolled like so. This is the skin on top of the structure we built to go to the front. So this is the radiator and sort of the front bumper area. How much do you think this was right now? I said 200, 250. Oh, yeah, at least a couple hundred pounds. Mother of all things holy.
Dude, there is no way that bowling ball, if that bowling ball even puts a dent in that, I'll be impressed. It will not dent this.
You heard it here first. I'm not as convinced as Bill about that, but
it will not dent this.
I think it could dent it in between the structure.
It will not dent it.
Okay. Bill's confidence.
I'm telling you right now, that bowling ball, as soon as it hits this, it's going to ricochet and shatter. How many hits does it have to survive?
We don't know.
We need to go buy more tubing. Probably grab some of that tomorrow, and then more. I'm gonna need like 3 more sheets of 3/8. Oh man, it's getting crazy. So this is a giant POS. So you can see the condition of this engine. Now there's probably birds' nests inside of it and stuff. The goal is just to make it drive. And I would love to make it useful, but we don't really have the time and budget for that currently. So to stick with our crazy design here with the slope sides, which I wanted steeper, but it is what it is. Anything's better than straight. We're probably gonna end up doing parking brake only, no hydraulic brakes, and maybe even a hand throttle so that it can be driven. It's only with 2-wheel drive. We'll only have a rear diff in it, and it's just the absolute minimum. I don't want to put any fancy parts and put a minimum parts required so we don't destroy too much good stuff too if we don't succeed as well as I'm hoping.
Did you do rough napkin math on actual impact force?
Thought about it.
Because this feels like it's overbuilt.
Good. We don't even have to be done till tomorrow night. So we're just down to a little knickknacks, like get the engine running, the transmission working, a drive shaft brakes, finish plating it, paint it. I mean, we probably should stop now. I don't want to be done too early. We're kind of behind schedule ever so slightly.
I can't see this thing not winning.
Well, it's supposed to drive part, it's not winning currently.
If we take just this cross piece out and take right down here.
We need half truss and a drive shaft. We only need the front doors, the rears we'll just put the inserts back in.
Because they'll shoot right through the door and then hit the plate.
Exactly. It's time to first start.
All right, we're going to try to start it. It's been sitting for 27 years.
This Humvee was in the woods. Well, here, come here. Let me show you our wiring here. So this is the most cobbled together. We have all the wiring you need in a Humvee. The ground to the starter, the power to the starter. This is our ignition, so that turns on the solenoid. This is our electric fuel pump. And this is your starter. Doesn't have an exhaust or coolant or an oil cooler or any gauges.
And it might have trans fluid.
I don't think it does. So let's work on all those things. Tomorrow we'll finish plating and hopefully leave midday maybe, you know?
Those guys are going to be so disappointed when they shoot a cannon at this and nothing happens. And the balls just disintegrate because that is not going to break. I bet you that's not going to break.
The work we're putting in this, the level of effort, it's for competition. We build to win. Now, it's not my fault if our competitors don't know that there is a winner and a loser. They might have thought just good video, fun for people, but I thought I can beat them. I can beat that cannon. And some of my friends say I'm crazy and I could have stopped a long time ago and probably still been fine. I'm not so sure. I don't want to underestimate, this cannon. All right, we're gonna reach for you, buddy.
What's your favorite part about being neighbors with Jordan?
It only took me 1 day of PTO to come and have this much fun today.
Was that medical leave?
It was mental health.
Mental health days. Jordan, what's your favorite part about being you?
Endless optimism is the best thing about being me.
Endless optimism. Can you tell us who you are?
Basically an apprentice.
An apprentice. Excellent. Weren't you a customer yesterday? What's your favorite part about being Jordan's neighbor?
She looks like I shouldn't say it here.
What's your favorite part about being neighbors with Jordan?
The fact that he cares so much. I mean, who else would throw a party like this where the whole neighborhood could come and have a good time with him?
Right.
I mean, it's not every day that You spend the last 5 days, 12 hours a day. The bonding there is, it's amazing.
Bonding.
I love being Jordan's neighbor. I pay him $25 a month just to be my friend, so, you know, it's working.
And then this is what he does to you.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
It's not every day you can be manly like this.
This was a very rough Humvee. And it did not have a rear differential, it did not have axles, it didn't have many things. But a good friend of ours, who happens to have a lot of more Humvees than I do, supplied us with a couple spare axles he had, but one of them turned out to be a front axle, which was too long. And we don't have the time to obtain another axle right now, so I've shortened this axle. We cut in the middle, we took 3 inches out, so this was a long side front. We beveled it, TIG welded it together. Now we put the sleeve over it and we're MIG welding that sleeve on. I wouldn't trust this for like heavy off-roading, anything like that, but just to putt this around and prove that it still drives, it's just been great. I'm fucking proud of that, dude. That is cool. The shape of that.
If they get to the bowling pins, we lose. But they ain't getting to the bowling pin.
No. Redneck built, redneck design, all the redneck stuff that goes with it.
It's so cool. I'm sad that it's going to be, I mean, I don't want to say destroyed, because it's not. Even the abuse it gets, I'm sure it won't be like unsalvageable, but it's kind of sad to destroy it at all. It's exciting what we've done in like a couple weeks, you know?
Go to bed. You're supposed to be gone 12 hours ago. They could launch a nuclear bomb at you and you fled. Make them stop!
Ahoy!
Mission to come aboard, Captain!
Hey, Bill, tell us where we're going.
On the Buc-ee's, baby. Buc-ee's.
Are we there? We're here on the side of the road, not at our destination. And the ramp truck just died. So now the adventure begins.
I don't hear anything.
Where's the fuses in this thing, Bill? Yeah. I think I found the problem. It looks like I've been kicking this thing. Turns out it might be my fault.
All right, keep your big clodhoppers off of that damn fuse.
Yes. 1 for ramp truck, 0 for Jordan's foot. We did it! We made it. So it's the morning of truck, Humvee. Everybody survived the night, and yeah, we'll see what happens here. We're meeting them here in about an hour out at the farm, and they have not seen the Humvee in person. So it's exciting for us, you know, kind of show them what we did to get their response, and see if they can hurt this thing. We'll get you take a good look at what we got right now. It might look real different come this evening.